wherever you want it. Reflect a little bit of it down into the water. Now then, let's go over to the other side. Over here, some big bushes and trees over here too. Shoot, maybe they come all the way out right over the front of the building a little bit. There. Just sort of look around and make some big decisions and decide who you want all these things. And drop them in. There, Leon up here. Big, beautiful tree. And then you're so shocked when you go to New York and see all skyscrapers, everything, and then you find some place like Central Park, and it's almost like you were back with nature again. We really enjoyed our day there. Really enjoyed it, and I've never met so many fantastic people in my life. The park police told us that nearly 250,000 people came that day. Now then, I want some reflections, so just make that decision and pull it down. Just pull it down very gently across. Instant reflections. Over here, reflection, pull it across. Straight down and across. I'm going to use the old liner brush with a little paint thinner on it. And we'll find us some Van Dyke brown, a little bit of white, paint thinner. Thin this down very thin, almost like ink. Very thin. Turn the brush, get a lot of paint on it. And maybe there's a tree trunk. Lives right there. Right there, wherever you want it. There he is. And he's got some big arms that come out here. If you have trouble making your paint flow, all you need to do is add a little bit more of the paint thinner. Because the thin paint will flow right over this thick paint. Very easy. Very, very easy. Okay, take a little touch. The liquid white, go right into. I'm going to thin this paint a little. That's all the liquid white does is thin this. Right into the yellows, be right back, get a little more of the sap green. There. All right, beautiful little yellow ochre. Just mix them all together. Let's go right up here. Now the light's playing right through here. Think about shape and form when you're doing these trees. There. And see, there's clumps or big bunches in there. There's a limb right there that holds up that whole big one section. Think about it. Make friends with it. There we are. All those little individual things. Make friends with each one. And your tree will just jump around. Little flat thing. Roundness both this way and this way. And that's what makes your tree interesting. Put into a little Indian yellow, little tiny touch of the bright red.
It is an honor to serve.
Ooh, nice one, nice one, nice one. That one stands up very pretty against that bridge. There we are. See there? Just layer after layer. Maybe there's a nice bush that lives here. Wherever you want it. Wherever you want it. It's up to you. There's another little one. There. Now then, we need some land. So I'll take a little Van Dyke brown. Let's go right up here. Need a little bit of land for that to hang on to. Okay. Little touch of dark sienna and white. Make us a little highlight on top. There we are. Now, we'll take a 2-inch brush. Just a slight. A lot of beautiful grass in Central Park. Enjoy nature and spend some time. Shoot, there's little squirrels and stuff everywhere there too. Water line, just a little bit white. Okay. on the other side. I want the other side over here to be more in shadow if the light's coming from that way. So I'm going to darken that color a great deal. Very dark green. Still on the round brush, but very dark. I just want an indication of a little highlight on the ones here. Not very much though, don't overdo. Keep this one very dark. Very dark.
How may I help?
So there's a contrast, so you know the light's coming zing through there. Gotta make those little noises. You don't have to be crazy to be a painter, but it certainly helps. There. And even if you can't see those very well, they are in there. There are little things in there. Okay, we'll take a little of the brown liquid white mixture. Not much, and just put in the indication of a little waterline right there. Yeah, I'm going to get a 1-inch brush, just plain old 1-inch brush. We'll take a little black, Prussian blue, a little green, brown, it doesn't matter, dark colors. There was a little walkway here where I was standing, so let's put in some beautiful little grassy things that live right out here. Okay. Like so, we'll just drop those in. Take some very light brown, a little dark sienna, some dirt. And dark sienna. And just barely touch. Just enough to
It is an
let it
honor
graze
to
it.
serve you.
Okay, another 1-inch brush. I have several of them going. We'll take a little yellow and green, just mix it together. We'll put a little highlight on these. Right out here. See? Look how that shows up. It's just beautiful little bushes right out here. And they grow right back in here. This was a little walk, as I say, and there was like a little rail. Let's do that. I think I have enough time to do it. Just come across. Like so. A little black. Put that down. Doop, 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 doop. Gotta make those little noises. A little bit of highlight color. Just put so it looks like there's a little rail right there. A little edge. Nice. Okay. Take some paint thinner on the liner brush. Go into a little bit of the green. Just put the indication here and there of a few little things that are sticking out. Just having a good time. Shoot, I think we're about ready. Now then, Annette cut this beautiful design out for me, so let's pull it off and let's see what happens. There we are. Isn't fantastic? And you can do this too. So I'll take a little paint thinner, go right into my red, and we'll sign this, but I'm going to call it finished. We'll sign it right out here, right ahead in the bushes. But once again, I hope all my friends in New York enjoy this, and for people who live other places, try cutting out all kinds of designs, and you will not believe what you can make. I really hope you've enjoyed this. From all of us here, I'd like to wish you happy painting, and God bless, my friend.
Well, here we are, ready to go again. Have your brush set up and all my easel ready? Let's do it. I've already covered the canvas with a thin, even coat of magic white, so it's wet and ready to go. So let's start out today with a little bit of phthalo blue. Just take a little bit on your brush and beat it into the bristles so you get a nice, even distribution of color. We'll start right up here at the top, just making our little crisscross strokes. Little X's. There we are. Let it blend downward. Just do it in layers, working downward. Automatically, your brush is picking up the magic white, and it gets lighter in value as it goes down toward the horizon. There. Most of this guy is going to disappear. I think we'll do a bubbling little stream today. lot of little trees in the background. Just see what happens. Okay, gently blend that out. Good to go. So let's just take the big brush and we'll go right into some Van Dyke brown, a little bit of sap green. Just use a big brush. Don't be afraid of it because it's big. Some brown and sap green, maybe a little crimson. We'll throw a little bit of crimson in there too. Now, let's go right up here to the canvas and figure out where we're going to have some almighty trees and stuff. All we do is touch, bend the bristles. Bend the bristles. Turn the brush in the direction you want the leaves to go and the limbs to lay there. All we're looking for now is just some basic background shapes. Okay, put a little more color in the brush here. Just drop these in. All you're looking for basically is a nice dark color so our light color will stand out on top of it. Okay, maybe there's one that lives right here. Just sort of let your imagination take you from one place to another. Don't worry about it. These are just background trees. And while we have the brush dirty, we can just go right in here and fill in some of this area. This is mostly Van Dyke brown. Just using the same old dirty brush. A little green, a lot of brown. And if we're going to have a little stream coming through here, begin working on the lay of the land. Let these come down in angles, like so. So it creates a depression here so the water will set in it. There. We've got this painting half done already. Okay. Maybe a little bit more right over here. Once again, all we're doing is laying in some nice base color. Worried about detail here. Okay. Now let's take a fan brush and let's load it full of Van Dyke brown. A little bit of umber. This is burn umber, little burn umber, Van Dyke brown on both sides of the brush. Then I'm going to take and just pull one side of the brush through white. So we have brown on one side, white on the other. Look here, touch the canvas, just pull straight down. Make some indications of tree trunks. And by double loading the brush, we have the highlight in the shadow in one stroke. And these are your trees. So you can decide how many trunks are there. Let's go. Trunk right here. See how we can show through. Maybe there's one over here. Maybe he's got sort of a crook in it. All tree trunks aren't straight, so sometimes make some of them with little crooks. There we go. Now we can start putting some highlights on these trees. And we'll use the 1-inch brush, a little bit of magic white to thin the paint, use some cad yellow, and sap green. Cad yellow and sap green. And just mix color on your brush. That way you have a multitude of colors on your brush rather than just one flat dead color. There we go. Now let's just go right up in here and begin applying some highlights. Go slightly above the dark. Just bend the bristles. Put some leaves on some of these trees back here. Just let them fall right off the brush. A little bit of the yellow ochre now. We'll start putting some bright little colors in here. This one right here. Just let those leaves just fall right on the tree. I've added a small amount of permanent red. Maybe we'll get something in here that's a little bit brighter in the orangey colors. Okay. Yellow, add right to that. This whole tree really is pretty. It has a very nice little shape to it. A little bit over here. There we go. That gives us a nice background trees. take a little more of the sap green and use the brush sideways. Touch, push, bend upward. Just make it bend upward. Put some little bushes and stuff way back in the back. Not looking for a great deal of detail yet. As we come forward, then we'll worry about detail. Right now, we just want to fill up some of this area with a little color. When you start these paintings, all you need to have in mind is the time of year and the time of day. And just sort of let them happen. Let them happen. Don't spend a lot of time worrying about what you're going to paint. Just start painting. It'll happen and you can see it on the canvas. Okay, we'll put some highlights on the big tree here. We'll just use some green. There we go, a little sap green. Maybe we'll make it a little bit darker. Add a little bit more green. There's some indications back here. We're not worried about it. Okay, that gives us something to work with. And maybe if we're going to have a little stream that's flowing down through here, maybe we need to start putting some rocks and stuff so we can contain the stream, keep it inside those boundaries. So we'll just use some Van Dyke brown, a little bit of umber in it. Van Dyke brown, a touch of burnt umber. And just sort of touch the canvas, let the paint just glide right off the top. You're just barely touching it. You want the paint to break like this. By the time we're finished here, this will look like little rocks. Just touch. Just sort of follow the lay of the land once again. And keep the water down in a recessed area. Not too worried about shapes and stuff right now. Right now we're just worried about undercolor. And we'll come back and begin highlighting. There we go. We need the dark in order to show light. Okay. Now we'll make a little highlight to put on these little strokes that are going to end up being rocks. So we'll take some Van Dyke brown, white, and a touch of Prussian blue. Just a touch. Blue is so strong. And sort of make a little grayish color. And leave your paint marbled. Don't overwork it. Leave it so you can see color swirling in it. Now, very gently, just barely touch the canvas. Just so it grabs the highlights. Just barely touching. Please to kill all your dark color that you've worked so hard to put in there. You don't want to hurt them. You need the dark. Just making the bottom of the stream bed here. Following the lay of the land. So important. Okay. Now we can take the fan brush, a little bit of yellow, sap green, and we can get over here in the oak here a little bit too. Just mix all these colors on your brush. Just let them mix on the brush. Now let's go way back into the background back here and begin putting some little grassy areas. Maybe there's a little meadow back here. Places you like to set this entire stream. I think streams make such beautiful sounds. I'm going to take a little magic white and mix it with a titanium white. I just want to thin this paint down a little bit. A thin paint will stick to a thick paint. So I'm thinning it just a tiny, tiny bit here. And we'll begin putting in some water for our little stream. And maybe the little stream comes from right there. And it just sort of comes right over like so. And right in here, maybe there's a little, oh, there it went. Just fell right over. Just let it drop. Just let it drop off. See how easy that is? Then it hits down here, and there'll be a little splash down in here. And when you're doing this at home, try both sides of your fan brush. You'll find that one side of the fan brush bends better than the other side. Okay, quite. Keep the paint getting thin. Just barely touching. Barely touching. Falls again right there. You're strong. It goes both ways. Splash right, yes. Look at there. There's another one. There's another one. He's just going every which way. And the magic one. Now, even though this is going to be covered up with little foamy things, there's still a reflection in the water, even if you can't see it. It still picks up the color from up here. So I'm going to take a little bit of the Prussian blue, a little Van Dyke brown, just a little bit. Blue is so strong. And right in here, just drop in some little reflections. Just like so. Just touch. Pull straight down. Most important that you pull straight down. Push your reflections, even if they're under the water here, to look natural. So pull them straight down.
Blessings to you.
There we go. Very gently. Just like we were making still water. We need that dark color underneath so our water shows up. Now we can go back to the titanium white thin magic white. Maybe it's just sort of coming out. Let your imagination go crazy. Mistakes, we have happy accidents. Learn to work with anything that happens very, very rapidly. That's what's so fantastic about this technique. You don't have to worry about mistakes or accidents. We don't have them. It's very easy to repair anything that happens, to fix it, to change it. You can change your mind right in midstream. There we go. Just some little actions out here on the water. Now, let's go back to our brush that has the green on it and the yellow, a little yellow ochre. Once again, just use your brush to mix these colors so you have a multitude of color happening on the brush. And we can begin working with our little grassy areas some more. And that's why you didn't have to worry in here when you were putting in all the rocks. Anything you don't want, you just cover it up with a little bit of grassy area. Very soft, quiet, little grassy places. Nice place to go lay and read a book or something. Look at the birds. Talk to the little bunny rabbits. Okay, maybe. Now, we need to close up this side so it's contained. So we'll just start right up here. Just push that right up over the water. Now it's contained. We don't know where it's coming from. But you don't have to worry about it. There. Just sort of close all this in. Now by loading the brush in several colors, if you'll load the light color first, to go into the yellow first and load it very deep, and then your other colors, try to keep them on the tip of the brush. Then when you're painting along and you want, if you want just a regular color, you just push. If you want a bright color, you push very hard, and you get a nice bright color. Here pretty soon. This goes down here. Let's get some more brown. It comes right down through here like that, all over here. That's what it does. Right across like this. Maybe there's a big old stone that goes right here. This comes down. There. This is just a Van Dyke brown with a little bit of brown umber in it. Just sort of fill this in. I'm really not worried about anything. Just drop it in. Let it happen. Just throw a little bit of color.
Let's get a little more of a highlight color. There's some Van Dyke brown, a touch of Prussian blue. Just to make a nice gray color. And let's put a little highlight right out here on this little rock. There we go. Just a little highlight. Let's put a little down. Okay. Now, follow the lay of the land. When you're tired, you can say it, but it's so important. Back to our fan brush and some of the yellow ochre, cad yellow. So just put it up this here. Don't want to cover up all these nice rocks that you put. So, here's how I'm showing you. Just like so. There we are. Okay, now let's go over to the other side here, and we can bring all this together. There we are. If you find that your paint will not stick, add a little magic white or a little paint thinner to it, something to thin it down. The thin paint will stick very easily to the firm paint. But you gotta start with that firm paint. Okay. Now, a little more magic white and titanium white. And maybe this little stream here comes right over, bloop, and falls right over there. Just let it fall. Splashes a little bit. Here it goes again. It's just wandering all over the place. Comes out this way. Wherever you want it to go. Just a little bitty waterfall. Okay, I'm going to take just a clean knife and we just scratch a few little trunks and sticks here and there. Just here and there. Wherever you think there might be one. Now let's put a couple little trees in. We'll start off here with just plain Van Dyke brown. Maybe there's a little tree that lives right here. Maybe he's a crooked little tree. There he goes. Just a basic shape. There's another one that comes in. There's one that hangs out over the water there. Just let it go. Put a few little limbs here and there, then we can put some leaves on it. Now, if you have trouble making this knife work, you can do this with a liner brush. All you have to do is thin the paint down with a little thinner or light oil, and it'll work fine. There's his little foots. Now let's take a little bit of coriander, touch of Van Dyke brown, a little bit of white, tiny little bit of white, just to brighten it up a little bit. Now let's just go along here and get a touch of it. Just to put a highlight on this tree.
Good evening.
Wherever you think the light would strike this trunk. While we're in the tree business, maybe we need one on the other side. Maybe over here. Maybe a little bit closer to us. Maybe there's a much bigger tree. There he is. Just straight Van Dyke brown to start with. We'll give him a little root that just goes right down, follows the lay of the land also. Quite a bit of paint here. I want this tree to be very thick. And we'll come right up through here. Give him a nice limb. And trees grow however makes them happy. So there's really no absolutely correct way to make a tree. Depends on the individual tree. Depends on your mood a lot. How do you feel today? Does this tree have a lot of limbs? Few limbs. Just let your imagination go. See another one right there. Maybe there's one that comes from back here somewhere. It just sort of wanders off. Like that. Put a few little leaves. Leaves here and there. Let's take a little bit of the highlight color. I'm going to add a little tiny bit of blue to that. So we have some blue, white. This tree's he's tired. Just touch. Just touch. This is a nice little gray color we're using for it. And when this tree dries, you can feel this. This bark will be raised. Quite heavy, quite thick. There we go. Ooh, that's a good-looking old tree there. Now, we'll take a little bit of, we'll just mix it on the brush here. A little bit of sap green, some Van Dyke brown, a little Prussian blue. We need a good dark color. We can begin laying some leaves on here. And we'll just put these in at random. Just sort of look at your basic shape. There we are. Okay, just basic shape. Okay, and sometimes maybe there's some leaves growing down in here. Don't want to kill all the background. And we'll put just a few out here. Need the dark in order for the light to show. Stretch your leaves. This one hangs right over the stream. Basically sits right under that tree and watch the stream and listen to it. Okay. Now we can take, I'm going to use cad yellow, a little tiny bit of green in it. I want quite a bright color here so it stands out. So a lot of paint in the bristles. And go slightly above the dark and begin laying in your little leaves here. Just drop them in wherever you think they'll be. There. Painting doesn't have to be a mystery. It doesn't have to be hard. All you need to do is learn the basic technique and practice a little bit. There. A few little bright leaves right out here. There we go. A few right in there. We just about got this little tree done. Now, let's get into a tiny little bit of ochre and sap green. And a little different color than I have on the other one. So they stand apart a little better. We can go right along in here, drop it in. Look at there. Just drop those leaves in that quick. No big deal. Just enjoy. Don't kill all the dark areas. We really want to save some of these nice dark areas. Right in here. Just like so. Maybe a little grass down here at his foots just to cover up the foots. And I think we've just about got a finished painting there. So, on behalf of all of us here, I'd like to wish you happy painting. God bless.
I'll see you next week.
The order welcomes you. What you need?
Hello, and welcome back. Glad you could join me today. I hope you've got your palette set up and your almighty easel and you're ready to paint a beautiful painting with me. Today I thought we'd do a little painting. It's just a lot of fun and I really think you'll enjoy it. I'm going to have them graphically run all the colors across the screen that we'll need to do the project today. These colors will come across your screen in the same order that I have them on my palette, starting with a white and working across. So, let's get started. I'm going to start out today with a little bit of alizarin crimson on the large brush. Take a small amount of paint out and tap it into the bristles. This assures a nice even distribution of paint all through the brush. Now, use very little paint. I'm going to put this in the sky, and I don't want to set the sky on fire. All I want to do is put a little pinkish glow into it. Okay, let's go up to the canvas here. Now, let's start right in here, and we make little X's, little crisscross. Now, the canvas has already been covered with magic white, good and wet and slick, ready to go. It's very easy to add more color because the sun is going to try to take it off. So if you want more color, just pick it up and put it on. But start with very, very little color. I'll add a little tiny bit more right in here. There we go. Now, while I've got that on the brush, maybe I'll come right down in here with a little. Without cleaning the brush, I'm going to go right into a small amount of Prussian blue. Now, the Prussian blue is very, very strong. Be careful with it. Little crisscross. It will consume your crimson in a heartbeat, so be careful with it. Very little Prussian blue. So, so strong. And once again, you can always add a little more if you want it, but it's hard to take it off. If you ever do need to take it off, you can take a clean, dry brush and go over it, and it'll pick up paint. Or if worse comes to worse, if it's really bad, you can take a paper towel or a clean rag and just wipe the canvas down and start over. Because at this point, you really haven't invested a lot of time or energy into your painting. Okay. And maybe I'll put just a tiny bit of blue right here. I don't want much, just a little. Maybe there'll be a little water right there. We'll make that decision later. And I'm going to clean the brush. And we clean the brush with odorless paint thinner. And there's a screen in the bottom of my can. Hey! And we scrub the brush against the screen, and that takes the paint off. And allows the solid material to settle to the bottom of the can, and it doesn't contaminate all your paint thinner. Okay. There we go. Gives us a nice little sky very quickly, very simply. A lot of fun. Let's go. Let's go. Get us a big old fan brush. I'm going to go into the titanium white and load a lot of paint onto your brush. A lot of paint. Pull it through there. And I'm going to pick up a small amount of permanent red. Just a little bit. A little bit. It's very, very strong. Okay. Look at all the paints on that brush. There. Let's go up to the canvas now. Let's build a happy little cloud. And maybe he lives right here. Now I'm just using the corner of the brush, making tiny little circles. Tiny little circles. Get a little more paint on the brush. Looking for areas that have a lot of paint, areas that have virtually no paint, thick, thin. Some areas you don't want to put anything on, so it'll turn out to be your shadows. Now with a large brush, I'm going to gently, gently blend this out. Just blend it. Little tiny circles. Tiny little circles. There we go. And fluff it. Just grab it, fluff it up. And then very gently blend it all together. See, isn't that easy? It's a super way to make fantastic little clouds. Very easy. Clouds used to give me a fit until I found out how easy they were to make. There we go. And this goes right on wherever you want it. Wherever. Still just titanium white. Okay, now we'll take our big brush again and do the same thing. Blend the bottom out. We're not touching the top edge of the cloud yet at all. And don't overwork it. Probably the biggest mistake made is overworking it. And you work it till it's dead. You have a big old cotton ball laying up there in the sky. Now, very gently. Very gently. All you're doing is grazing it. Just barely across. Okay, and that's how we make a little cloud. And there's many, many ways of making clouds. This is probably one of the simplest and most effective. Okay. Got to make some decisions now. What are we going to have in here? Maybe we'll put a little mountain over here. And let's take some Prussian blue, some Van Dyke brown, and a little bit of alizarin crimson. And mix them all together. Pick your paint up and turn it over. That assures that you'll mix it all. Otherwise, you won't mix what's against the palette. So pick it up and turn it over, like so. Okay, now we'll take a little bit of paint on the knife. Let's go right up here. Maybe there's a little mountain that lives right here. And we're really, really pushing this paint into the fabric. Just like you're trying to push it right through the canvas. Now, one of the questions that I hear quite frequently is, do I always use a stretch canvas? I always do use a stretch canvas. If you use a canvas board, it will absorb your magic white, and very rapidly you're working on a dry canvas. It creates unbelievable problems. I always use a canvas that is double primed, has 2 coats of primer on it. And that way the magic white will stay wet for extended periods of time, and that's what you're looking for. Because maybe you won't finish the painting today and you want to come back tomorrow and work on it. Some people don't paint quite as fast as I do, and they want to come back and work on it. So your magic white will stay wet for several days. Okay, we'll pull out, this is just titanium white, and let's put a little bit of snow up here on this mountain. Barely touching, barely touching. Just a whisper. Just let that knife literally float across the canvas. There's a little peak right there. That may be in the background. And you can make these as wide or as small as you want. Just keep building them. It's your mountain, so you do whatever you want to with it. It's your mountain. Okay, then we'll take a little Prussian blue and white. Just blue and white. And we'll make a shadow color. Okay, pull your paint out flat and then cut across. So you have a small little paint right on the edge of the knife. Okay, let's go up to the canvas. Touch. And just barely touch. And follow the angle. Now, notice the angle's opposite of the highlight. Highlight goes in one direction, shadow in the other. Very, very simple way to make little mountains. Very effective. Ooh, beautiful. I need these shadows. The shadows. That's what separates these. If you don't have the shadows in the right places, then your mountains won't look right. And every highlight needs its own private shadow. If it didn't have a shadow, it just lays there. You need that shadow to push it up and to make it an individual. Now let's make some mist on the bottom of this mountain. And for that, we'll use just a clean, dry 2.5-inch brush. And just tap. Follow the angles in your mountain. Always follow those angles. Mountains are nothing but geometric shapes. They're games of angles. Study the angles. There. Now we lift upward. This removes the tap marks and creates beautiful soft mist. That easy. Told you could do it. There we go. Okay, well, let's have some fun. Let's have some fun. Now we got us a nice little mountain in the background, some beautiful clouds. So let's have some fun. I'm gonna go right into, there's some sap green. This is the mountain color. So this is Van Dyke brown, Prussian blue, sap green, and we'll throw some crimson in there too. A lot of paint on the brush. Pull that brush through the paint. Bend it. Load a lot of paint. Look at how it looks. Okay, now we're going to put that rounded corner to the top when we touch the canvas. There. See it very well. Okay, let's go up here. Maybe we got to make some decisions. Maybe. Right there. Right there lives a tree. There he is. And this is just background, so you're not really concerned about anything except just basic shapes. There we go. Just wherever you think there ought to be a tree. That's exactly where there ought to be a tree. Okay. Maybe. Right there. And start thinking about the general lay of the land here. Maybe this is going to be coming downhill, so start planning that. And wherever you want a tree, drop him in. And we can begin working on all kinds of little basic shapes here. But you're still paying attention to the general lay of the land. Maybe right there, there's a nice bigger bush. Push that mountain back a little further. Now, when you're putting this in, you don't want to kill the misty area between the mountain and your background. If you kill this misty area, it's going to pull that mountain right up against this, and you want to keep some distance there and make the mountain look like it's far, far away. So leave this misty area. It's very, very important to you. Leave that. Okay, we'll just go on here and drop in a little bit more of this background. This is a super way just to practice, too, is to really have nothing in your mind except a time of day and a time of year. And hit the canvas. Just let something happen. Bring it out of here. You don't have to trace and draw all these pictures on there. It's in here. All you have to do is let it out, put it on that canvas. Now, maybe we're going to have a little pond right here. Watch how easy it is to make a reflection. Let's go right in here. All we do is grab that and pull down. We want the pond to reflect the color that's around it. So all you do is pick up some of this background color and pull down. That easy. Reflections are one of the most fantastic things to do in this technique. Because the canvas is wet with a magic white. Oh, son of a gun. You can make unbelievable reflections. Now these lines should be straight across. Go straight across, but don't want the water to run out on the field. Okay. Now then, let's put a few little trunks here and there. We'll use a knife today. I'll take some burnt umber, a little bit of white in it, pull it out very flat, cut across. So we got that small roll of paint right out on the edge of the knife there. There, you can see it, just a tiny bit, okay? All you gotta do is touch the canvas, and the canvas will pull off what it wants. If your trunk needs to be wider, pull it to the side a little bit. But most of the time, all you have to do is just touch. And if you don't overmix your paint, then it'll be marbled. And all kinds of beautiful little things will happen automatically. You don't have to worry about it. You can sit and mix up a dozen different colors, or you can mix your paint marbly and let it happen. Just let it happen. We learn to use everything that happens. That's what's so much fun about this. We talk about we don't make mistakes, we have happy accidents. And that's true. There's nothing that you can't fix very easily. Now let's put some highlights on this. And I'll get a 1-inch brush. And let's go into a little bit of cad yellow. And some sap green. There. Okay, pull that brush through that paint. Pull it through. A lot of paint. Okay, I'm gonna hold it up here and let you look at it. See? A lot of paint. There we go. maybe there's a nice, beautiful green bush that lives right here. Touch, just give it a little push. Gentle push. I know sometimes it looks like I'm taking a running start across the room and socking that canvas hard. It's a gentle touch. It's just that sometimes I do it very rapidly and it looks like I'm pushing very hard. But it's a very light touch. Okay. Now we're going to a little Indian yellow. And maybe there's a happy little bush. That's right there. And we'll reflect a little bit of that down into the water. Add a little paint thinner onto my brush to thin the paint. And let's take a little burn umber and put right in with the yellow. Make a nice brownish color here. Beautiful. So we get cad yellow. Burn umber. Okay, let's go back up here. Maybe, there it is. Just have to look around and find them. There's another little tree back here. And let them get darker and darker and darker as you work down. Let's throw in a little permanent red. Shoot, good brightness on it again. Up, make it stand up here and talk. Don't kill all your dark areas. They're important too. And layer these so it helps create the illusion of depth in your paint. Here I'm using the brush sideways. Just push up, bend. That's all there is to it. Okay, let me get a little more paint thinner. A little more of the sap green. And we'll very quickly just drop in some beautiful little leaves up here on these. If you have trouble making your paint stick, add a little magic white or paint thinner to it. Remember our golden rule, a thin paint will stick to a thick paint. So this first layer of paint that we put on the canvas is very, very thick, very thick. Good test for your paint. Take the top off and squeeze it. The paint should stand up about 3/4 of an inch above the tube without falling over. That's the way you can tell if it's strong enough to do this method. If oil runs out of it or if it's soft and creamy, probably will not work for this method. This really depends on a firm paint, so you can stick these thinner paints on top of it. There. Okay, maybe. There's another one. Just wherever you want these, do drop them in. Let them happen. Okay, let's start putting some land masses in here and some reflections and all the beautiful little things. Let's do the reflections here. Now, reflections happen so nice. Watch what happens with this big brush. Gently pull down. Just barely touching the canvas. Oh, such a soft touch. Lightly go across. This is how you make the beautiful mirror reflections. See there? Not easy. Okay. Tell you what, today, let's do something a little different. Let's use a fan brush. And I'm just going to go right into some Van Dyke brown, some burnt umber, just mix them up on the brush. And let's just go up here and let's just scrub in some basic land areas here. Just use the old brush, scrub it. All we're doing is putting a nice dark base color. And you got to figure out where your water's going to be. Now go right into some white, a little touch of blue. And there was brown on the brush already, so we got, and look, see, you can see how all the different colors are loaded on that brush. There's brown in deep, and there's lighter colors on the end. Okay. Let's go right up here. Now all we got to do is just touch. And just, you don't want to kill all your dark now. You worked very hard to put that dark on there. Don't kill it all. Just want to put some little highlights here and there. And just let that little brush play and bounce. And fan brush is a fantastic brush. But you got to make friends with it. It's got to be a good buddy. Yeah, just wherever you want these. It's your world. Your world.
Okay, I'm going to take another fan brush. Now I have several fan brushes going here, so I don't have to wash them continually. A little magic white on my brush. We'll go right into some cad yellow. And I'm going to grab a little green, bring down here. A little red. Just mix all these different colors on the brush. Look at all the paint on there. Son of a gun. But they're all mixed on the brush. Now you can take and touch, push, and bend it upward and build in all kinds of little grassy areas wherever you want them. Follow the lay of the land. Most important. I want to kill all these nice little things that you made with your fan brush here. I don't want to kill them all. Okay, let's go back. Get this old big brush. Great big brush. Van Dyke brown, some sap green, a little bit of Prussian blue. There's some crimson, whatever. Just pull it through that paint. Load it full. Okay, let's go right up here. Now you got to make some more decisions. What lives right about here? There it is. Big tree lives right there. You knew that, didn't you? I know where that mountain you worked so hard on. There, maybe. It comes right down through there. Whatever. Wherever you want it. Now we try to give you ideas here. These paintings should be used as guides. And at home, let your imagination go crazy. You really don't have to copy. All you have to do is see how it's done. We really just try to teach you how the method works. What you paint. Oh my gosh, that's as individual and as different as people are. All right. Drop in some color now. Indian yellow, yellow ochre, cad yellow, permanent red. They're just all mixed right here on the brush. There we go. All right. Touch. Barely touching the canvas here. Barely touching the canvas. Let all these things happen. I'll tell you what, we'll add a little more green to that. There we go. Put in some beautiful little green bushes right here. Wherever you want. Whatever you want. I'm just varying color. We're just going from the permanent red to the Indian yellow, yellow ochre, and back and forth. Whatever makes you happy. There we go. There's a little bit right there. Once again, if your paint doesn't stick, add a little paint thinner. Ooh, there's a nice bright one. Shining out there in the sun. And feel free at home to change color. Use any color that you want. I'm going back and get my fan brush, and we'll pick up some more of this dark color. And let's go in here. Let's just lay in some little things happening here and there. Just here and there, wherever you want. Just like so. And then we got a little bit of a highlight color. We can go back in here and just gently drop some of these things out. Maybe there's a little stone that's right there. Just a few little highlights. Maybe there's another little stone. See how that little fan brush just makes all kinds of fantastic little things. So simple. Just let it happen. Then we can drop some little grassy areas coming down in here. Follow the lay of the land. There we go. Wherever you want them to go. Let's go over here. There comes that stone. Okay, good. Okay. Tell you what let's do. Let's go right into some Van Dyke Brown. And let's build a little tree. He lives right there. Right there. And what kind of trees? Let's make a birch tree today. A lot of fun. And very striking. Very striking. And they usually grow in clumps, so we'll give him a little friend right there. And you can make as many birch trees as you want. Just want to show you how. Okay, now we need a little bit of white to highlight and touch. Give it a little pull. Yep. That's all there is to it. Just give it a little pull. Like that. Okay. Now let's just put a few little limbs here and there. Just some indications. You could also do this with a liner brush. Just as well. Just here and there. Maybe this one runs right across wherever you want it to go. And we'll take a 1-inch brush, some sap green, some yellow. Okay, a little paint thinner so it's very thin. Let's go up here and just very gently, barely touching here. Laying a few little leaf indications. Just barely touching. And I hope you've enjoyed this painting. It's a lot of fun. It'll teach you how to use a lot of equipment. There. Okay, I think we'll call that one finished. Until next time, from all of us here, happy painting. Certainly glad you could join us today. Dr. Dave will just do a fantastic little painting. I hope you have your paint set up and you're all ready to join us. So I tell you what, let's start out and have him run all the colors across the screen that you need to paint along with me. While they're doing that, let me show you what I've got done. Got my standard old pre-stretched canvas up here, and it's been covered with a thin, even coat of the liquid white, so it's all ready to go. So I tell you what, let's go. Today, let's just have some fun. Let's just do a little painting that'll sort of make you happy. It's enjoyable. I want to start out with a little touch of the phthalo blue on the 2-inch brush. Don't need a great deal of paint. And let's go right up in here today and let's just have some fun. Let's just do something like this. There. Sometimes it's fun just to sort of let your imagination go crazy and just enjoy playing with color and just having a good time. Little phthalo blue, just phthalo blue, and it's mixing with the liquid white that's on the canvas, and automatically you get all this nice blending. Now then, tell you what, let's add a little bit of the Prussian blue. Now Prussian blue is much darker and much stronger, and I'm going to go right around the edge with a little bit of the Prussian blue, something like so. And we're still just using little crisscross strokes. Put some on the other side over here too. Don't want it left out. There. About like so. Okay. That's looking pretty neat already. Now then, maybe I'll take let's use a little Prussian blue and I'll add a little midnight black to it. We'll make a very dark black and blue. Or blue and black, whichever you prefer. Alright, so we'll come right up here. And we'll just put in a little of that very, very dark color. Okay. Now then, take that same color and go to the other side. And put a little over here. Just like so. And we're still using a little crisscross strokes. It really makes blending a lot easier if you use those little crisscross strokes rather than just drawing big circles like that. Okay, now, fun part. This is the fun part. We wash your brush. Shake off the excess. And just beat the devil out of it. There we are. Let's take a little bit of the titanium white. Yeah, not too much brush. And I'm going to go right back up in here and decide where the lightest part of the sky is. And we'll just begin blending outward. This is just straight titanium white. And this is to put a little bright spot in our sky. Just let it blend outward here. And you can do this several times to achieve a desired lightness if you want to. There we are. And just keep blending outward. This is a nice way of making a very effective little sky. And just working outward. But try not to take the dirty color from over here and put it back in the center. Stay out of the center once your brush is dirty. If you want to go back in the center and work, then I would suggest you clean the brush and start fresh. Just get really good and scrub it off. Besides that, it's fun just to beat the brush a little bit. There we are.
It is an honor to serve you.
Okay, that's sort of a wild-looking sky already. Okay, I'll tell you what, let's do. Let's mix up a nice lavender. We'll use a little phthalo blue and alizarin crimson. Proportionally, much more of the crimson than blue. I want this to be sort of to the reddish side. And it's hard to tell. Let's put a little white in there and see what we have. I want a nice light lavender color. Maybe we need a little more white. Oh, that's getting nice now. That's getting nice now. And just mix it back and forth between the crimsons and blues and white till you get a color that you want. And I think something like that's about what we're looking for. Let me wipe off the old knife here. And we'll have a fan brush today. What the heck. Let's go right in here. Get a touch more of the crimson on there. Oh yeah, there. But load both sides, full of color. Full of color. And let's go right up here and make big decisions. Maybe in our world there's some little things that live right in here. And we're just taking the fan brush and sort of tapping downward. That's all we're doing basically here. See, just tap downward. Maybe we'll allow it to come right down in here somewhere. Wherever. Okay, maybe it comes right on up. Just make some decisions. Look at your painting and decide where you think things should live and drop them in. There. Now maybe in there's a few trees that we can see a lot more detail on. We'll just use the corner of the brush and work it back and forth. There they are. There they are. They live right here in your brush. All you got to do is just sort of shake them out. Just scare them out. Back and forth. We'll even make this one a big old tree. There. And we're just looking for some basic shapes. Just a few here and there. Shoot, I tell you what, that was so nice. Let's put some on the other side too. Maybe I'll have one over here. We'll have a big one right there. Corner of the brush. As you work down the little tree, push harder and harder so the bristles bend downward today. Sometimes we make them bend upward, sometimes downward. Just sort of depending on how you feel, what your mood is, or how the trees are where you live, or how the trees are in the area that you want to show in your painting. Just a few more of these little devils. Okay, give them a little friend there. Just a little one right there. Maybe another one. There. Wherever you think this should be. Okay. Put a little in there, wherever. Okay, now I'll grab the old 2-inch brush. Be sure it's dry. And I want to create the illusion of mist down at the base of this. So take the top corner of the brush and firmly tap. Just firmly tap. That's all we're doing there. probably hear how loud I'm hitting, or how hard I'm hitting. It's hard to hear how loud I'm hitting. And very lightly, we'll lift upward. Very gentle. Very gentle. Just very, very touchy. Shoot, I'll tell you what, I'll color again. I'm just going to add a little bit more to my brush. It's a nice tree. Lives right here. And I'm just using the top corner of the brush. I just want to create the indication of some nice little things that live back in here. See, they're almost the same color as the sky. I don't want them to be real distinct. I want to be soft. Just little gentle things that live back here. There. Got a nice tree going there. A little bit darker down toward the base, so it shows up. This is a way of creating several layers of little background trees and bushes and all that, just with a 2-inch brush, just with tapping. Maybe it comes right down here. I don't know. Wherever you think it should be. I'll take a little script liner brush, number 2 script liner brush, put a paint thinner on it, and we want to thin this paint until it's literally like ink, but very, very thin, very thin. Turn the bristles as you take them out. That'll bring it to a nice sharp point. You can see how sharp it is. There's a few little sticks and twigs that you can see back here. Just a few, wherever you think they should be. These little devils are always back in the trees and stuff, so just put a few wherever you using that same color, which is basically lavender, alizarin crimson, phthalo blue. Come right in here and begin just adding all kinds of little things. But look at all the different layers that we've created. That's what will create that illusion of depth and distance in your painting. Just layer after layer after layer. And add a little midnight black to that to get it very dark down here. That same old brush. I guess it's alright. We'll just go right to a little bit of the cad yellow, little yellow ochre. And all I'm doing is tapping with the top bristles. You can see it very well then. That's a nice close up. See there? Just tap over the top corner. Alright. Now then, with that, we can come back in here. And just using that top corner, you can begin shaping all kinds of little individual bushes and trees that live in here. There. And we can vary the colors back and forth between the, yellow ochre, Indian yellow, bright red. Just vary them. Let them just sort of work back and forth and change them to however it makes you happy. Do one little bush at a time. Don't get too greedy. Sometimes it starts working well and you get a little carried away and maybe 18 bushes at once. Just work on one at a time. Give each one of them a name if necessary. Whatever it takes. Just make them individuals. There. Layer after layer after layer after layer. And really, that's what creates that illusion of depth. I know you hear me say that over and over. But I think that's very important to take that. Just patience. Just a few little things to hide back in there. Take the knife, scrape through, make a few little sticks and twigs that get white as the canvas is showing through. tell you what. Let's put a little bar in here today, or a big build. Maybe right in here. So take the knife and just scrape out a basic shape. Yeah, whatever you want. Maybe it's got a little short on it. By scraping out this basic shape, I'm going to add a little Van Dyke brown. It will do two things. It removes the excess paint, which is most important. But the other thing it does is it allows you to sort of lay out your whole perspective and your whole building and everything without really being committed. There. Okay. So we'd have a little shed out here. So we'll just put a little roof, pull down, and all we're doing right now is just blocking in color. That's all we're doing, just blocking in color. Like so. There. A little bit on this side. Wished it was that easy to actually build a barn. This certainly makes it easier. My father was a carpenter, so I've spent a lot of my life building things. I know how difficult it is to actually make a barn. That's why I say I wished it was this easy to do. Now then, I'm going to take a little white, a little dark cyan, a little light brown. We'll just mix them together like so. At least a little touch of blue into it, and that'll gray it. It'll give it a gray tone. Pull across, get a little roll of paint right on the edge of it. Come back in here. It's like putting snow in the mountains. Barely touch. Make this look like old weathered wood.
How may I help you?
See, just barely touch though. Barely touch. And I'll take a little more of the Van Dyke brown and make it much darker, because on the other side not much light's going to hit, so you need to have that quite a bit darker. See, in comparison how dark it is. Our little roll of paint still. Come right up in here, decide where the roof line is. Just enough so it barely shows up. That's all. Not much light striking this side of the building. Not much light. There. Right on the edge here. That's the stick line. So it shows there's a difference there. Let's take a little bit more of the Van Dyke brown. And I'm going to turn this into an old slab building with boards. We'll just take a little bit of Van Dyke brown. Leave the illusion of a lot of little boards in here. Something like so. Now you can smooth that by taking a 2-inch brush and barely touching. Barely. Just graze it. Now for a roof. What are we going to do? Let's just take midnight black on the roof. Midnight black, well, like that. Get our little roll of paint right on the edge of the knife again. And let's just let it bounce along here and play. Just touch it. Bloop, 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 bloop. Got to make that little noise, though. Let's let it bounce. Let the knife touch. The canvas will pull off all at once. Give you back what's left. Easy. Take the small edge on the other side. Make the indication of little shingles showing on the other side. But by using the small edge, it'll be sort of jaggedy.
It is an honor to serve.
It'll look like you're looking at the edge of little doers there. Excuse my arm a second. Put a line here a little darker where they come together. Maybe we'll make a little doer there. That'll make it a little more distinct. Now we need a door in there. This is an old barn. Got to have a place for the cow to go. Just take a knife. How's that? Instant door. Take a small edge up here. Put a place for the hay to go up. lavender and black, and a little brown here and there. Maybe, yeah, right there. And I'm still just using the top corner of the brush. I'm going to put this little tree right there. Like so. Right on down. I don't know, where is he? Maybe it comes right in front of the barn. Go to all that work to build a barn and then tear it up. That's all right. That's all right. And we have several layers of color here. There. Yeah. I got a bunch of brushes going here, so I'll grab another one. We'll take a little bit of sap green, a little yellow ochre. Just tap a little color right onto the bristles. A little bit of red. There we are. Let's go right up here. Now we can just begin adding on some little highlights onto some of these. Did you ever think you could just take a top of a great big old brush and make all these beautiful little trees? You really can. You can. There we are. Nice orange color. Put some color in this rascal. Cashews in this series especially. I've enjoyed showing you some of my little creatures. I want to show you one more today. We got just a second. I'm just going to be doing this while you're watching. This is one of my little squirrels. They bring so much pleasure to my life. My mother and I enjoy this. She plays with it too. She probably wouldn't admit that. She has about as much fun with it as I do. And they love to get in the pocket and hide. And that's where, if you let them, they'd spend most of their time just hiding right there in the pocket. So we call them pocket squirrels. Alright. So these are just babies, just beginning to get fur on their baby bugs. See, he's had to hide his head there a little bit. Probably fell asleep. Sometimes they stay in my little pocket there all day. And I just walk around the house, forget they're in there, and they go to sleep and take life easy. And they really are a lot of fun. There we go. Hope you enjoy seeing them. Just taking a little titanium white here on the little liner brush and putting in a little tree trunk or two. And then let's find a knife. We'll take a little bit more of the Van Dyke brown. Let's come right along in here and let's put some dirt under here. There. Looks like the weeds have grown up and just about covered. Touch of highlight. Don't want a great deal, just a touch. I tell you what, maybe let's do this. Maybe there's a little ditch right there. Whatever you want to call it. There. Just using Van Dyke brown. Allow a little bit of that color that you put on the top to grab the knife and come down. You don't need much color here. Very, very little color. Alright. And let's go back to our brush. It's got the highlight color in it. The little greens and all that. Let's just come right in here and begin putting in shapes of all kinds of bushes and stuff. Just using the top corner. I'm going to go back to my brush that has a dark color in it. We'll just put a few bushes here on this side of that ditch or ravine, whatever you want to call it. Put a little dark color in there so that the highlights will show. We gotta have a little bit of that. Let's take some brown. Maybe there's a little path right across the road. Maybe it goes back in the woods somewhere. There. Just use some brown and lay it in. Like so. I'll take a little brown, white, that's dark sienna white, a little touch of yellow ochre in it. There. Come right around. Shoom. Gotta have a little place to walk. Goes right on back here. Have some little bushes up there. Bright red. I like little things like this because it teaches you to use just one big brush. The only brush we've used here. It's a very big old 2-inch brush. A little bit of dark color right here. Push this side back. Some highlights on it. Stand. Ooh, that's nice. We'd have to have, if it was going across this ravine, we would need help. Maybe something up here to keep everybody from little doer like that. A few little highlights on it, some brown and white. Come down there, let's have a little rail across it. See? Because I'd fall off from there. There we go. A little something for you to hold on to when you go by. There we are. And then our little bushes that are growing right here. Scratch up your sticks and twigs, all those little things. Now, let's have some fun. We got a second left here. I'm going to take Van Dyke Brown on the fan brush. A little dark sand too. What the heck? Just mix them right up in there. Right up. Maybe we have, yep, you know me. Big tree lives right there. He's got a friend right there. Like so. Just make him nice and dark. Take our liner brush. Mix them. A little bit of Van Dyke Brown and paint them until it's very thin, like ink. Okay, let's go up here. Maybe. Let it wiggle and jiggle. Got to make those little noises. And we put in a few little limbs on these trees. In the back, you can see a few little trees that are living in there. Some nice hanging down branches on here. Got a little tree roots on there. But the paint should be very thin. If you have trouble making it flow, you just add a little paint back to it. We're going to put a few leaves on there, so we'll put a leaf up. Grab another little fine brush. I have several of them going. We'll take some of that black and brown mixed together. And right in here, just a few little things that live out here in this tree. So just push upward with the brush. Create that illusion of all kinds of little leaves and stuff like that. Where do you think this should be? Where this should be? I'm going to take rotting clean the brush, a little touch of yellow ochre, and mix with that and turn sort of greenish. And just push in a little highlight on these. Doesn't take much. Just takes one color. Well, the old clock on the wall tells me it's about time to call it a day. I really hope you enjoyed this one. It's a very nice little painting. It'll show you how to use a limited number of pieces of equipment and make a super painting yourself. Come on, let's have the painting and confidence with it. Hi, I'm glad you could join me today. It's a fantastic day only because you're here. So I tell you what, let's start out today having run all the colors across the screen that you need to paint along with me. While they're doing that, let me show you what I've done. I've got my standard old 18 by 24 inch canvas, but you paint whatever size you want. I just use that because it's nice for the TV cameras. And I've covered the entire canvas with a thin, even coat of the liquid white. So it's all wet and it's ready to go. So let's go. I'm going to start out today with the smallest little amount of alizarin crimson. This is the last show of the 15th series. Boy, it's a lot of shows. Each series has 13 shows times 15. comes out to a group. But since this is the last show, I thought we'd just do a fantastic little happy painting, little traditional painting that just should make you feel good when you're doing it. Let's start with a little bit of this crimson, and let's just put in a happy little sky here. What the heck? What the heck? Just use little crisscross strokes. Just sort of dance it in. Maybe it goes right on over. Get a little more color. Right on over. Wherever we want it. Wherever you want it. Now then, I'm gonna add a little more of the alizarin crimson and reach over here and get the least little touch of phthalo blue. Proportionately, much more crimson than blue. The blue's 100 times stronger. I want to make a nice little lavender color. Here and there, I want to put a little bit of lavender in this sky. Look at that. Wherever. Just want to really make it sparkle. Happy little sky. Just a happy little sky. There. Still using the little crisscross strokes. Like so. That's all there is to it. Okay, a little bit more of the blue. And up in here, put a little more blue. There. Now we're going to have a little touch of water, I think, in this painting. I like water. Hope you do. Go back into my crimson. Just get a little bit on the brush. And we'll reflect just a little of that down here where we're going to have some water. There's a little bit. Go right into the phthalo blue. And let's just put a little of that in. Just a little blue. There we are. See how that blends right into the crimson that we have. A little more blue. We'll put a little bit on this side. All we're doing is putting a little color on the canvas at this point. Really doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Right now we're just having a good time enjoying. There. Let's wash your brush. We'll scrub it. There's a screen in the bottom of my can that I scrub it against. Shake off the excess. Just beat the devil out of it. Now then, with a clean, dry brush, still using little crisscross strokes, we want to blend the sky together. Very gently, very gently. This doesn't take much pressure. All we're doing is just blending it together. You don't want to be able to tell where one color stops and the next color starts. There. Okay. Now when you're doing this at home, I recommend that you step back from your painting. It's very difficult to see right close up. It's really hard to see. Step back, 6, 8 feet, and take a look-see. And then you can tell exactly what you have. Okay, wash the old brush one more time. I just like to wash brushes. Shake it off. There we are. Okay. Let's see. We'll use a 1-inch brush. I'm going to some titanium white. Load some color into the bristles. Let's just make some very simple little clouds today. And they live in our world. They live right up here. And all I'm doing is just tapping. Just tapping. That's all there is to it. Just tap. See, just let that little cloud just float right on off the brush. Wherever you want it to go. There it goes. There it goes. There it goes. Just make up little stories. Got the little cloud that floated around. Had a good time. Just sort of see him in your mind. Just drop him right up here. Anything that the mind can conceive, you can paint. You can paint. There. See, there's a little cloud. Maybe he's got a little friend who lives right there. As many or as few as you want in your world. Just drop them in. There he goes, right on off the canvas. That might be the simplest, easiest way I've ever found of making some very gentle little clouds. Yeah, just come down here and just sort of blend out the base a little bit, just a tiny bit. There. Knock off the excess paint and very lightly, just blend it. See, don't overblend or your cloud will go away and leave you. He'll leave you stranded all by yourself. There, that's all you need. Okay, today, let's build us a nice mountain. Shoot, we'll use some black. We'll have a little touch of Prussian blue, Van Dyke brown. Put some crimson in there too. Shoot, that's a nice color. There we are. Pull it out very flat. Go straight down, cut across. So you have that little roll of paint lives right out there on the end of the knife. Okay, let's go right up in here. Watch right here. Take the knife and very firmly push in just some basic shapes. Push it very firmly. You want to try to push that paint right into the fabric. Maybe over here it lives a little peak, comes out. This is your mountain, so you make it however you want it. However you want it. There we go. Maybe it comes out through here. Boom, there's another little bump. See? You're limited only by your imagination. Only by your imagination. We have no boundaries here. Total freedom. Now I'm going to take the large brush. I'm going to grab that. Because the canvas is wet, you can move the color. Just move it. There, grab it, pull firmly. That way, automatically, it becomes lighter toward the base. The bottom of the mountain should be lighter than the top. That way, it comes out looking like all the beautiful mist that lives down there. There, just let that go right on off into the distance. We don't know where that goes. Don't care. But already, see that mountain looks like it's just sort of floating there. That's what we're looking for. Clean my brush. There we are. Okay, today let's use the little small knife. I'm going to take some white, some dark sienna. We're just going to mix those two together. I'm going to mix several different areas. So I have, look here, see right there it's quite light. Over here it's dark. So that way I'll be able to take from each side and have a difference. Okay, cut off our little roll of paint. Got a small roll of paint. Now then, let's go up in here. I like this small knife for getting in here and doing these little delicate things. And let's just begin putting all kinds of little things out here. Okay, there they are. Okay, maybe right in here. There. Comes one. Wherever you want it. Wherever you think it should be. That's where it should be. Comes right on down. Let's begin working with some shadows here. I'll take some white, Prussian blue, some Van Dyke brown. I'm looking for a bluish gray color. Put some black in there too. What the heck? There. That's nice. That's nice. Okay, once again, we cut off our little roll of paint. Now then, let's go right in here.
You are the Pussy King superstar. Man of my dreams, a sexy little devil you are. You got my heart beating overtime. All like my fantasy, I want you, all it won't you be mine. You are the Pussy King superstar. Man of my dreams, a sexy little devil you are. You got my heart beating overtime.
Nice little shadows.
All like my fantasy, I want you, all it won't you be mine.
You can just make all kinds of son of a guns in there just by pulling down over that knife. I like this little knife for this. It really works quite well. Now you can go back to some of your dark, and maybe here and there, you just want to put the indication of some nice, deep shadows. So you can just play light against dark, dark against light, go back and forth, forwards and backwards. Okay, now then, we'll come right down here, maybe. Yep, look at that. See, there's just all kinds of things happening in here. Just sort of let them happen. Maybe this comes right on down. Soon. Maybe they come together there. We don't know. However you want them. However you want them. That's the way they can be. And here and there we have some dark areas. You can get carried away here and just keep going and going. Tell you what, maybe over here. Maybe, see, that comes right down in the front. Right down in the front. Maybe we'll even have these come together. But you can bring them right together, just like that. A little bit of a dark color. We'll put a deep shadow in there. Look at that. Let them son of a guns just sort of work right in there. You just work it back and forth and back. Take a little touch of phthalo blue and white. Just want to put a little indication maybe of a little something that lives right in there. That's nice. That's nice. Right all down. Just intermingle some shadows here and there. I want some shadow over here too before I forget it. Shoom. Let it go. No pressure on the knife though. Absolutely no pressure. The most gentle touch imaginable. There. But you can make some fantastic mountains. That easy. Okay, let's take our big brush. Now very lightly, I just want to begin tapping this. Just want to tap the base of it. I want to create the illusion of mist. Very lightly. There we go. And here, maybe we'll just give it a little pull. That'll soften it and bring it all together. Looks like a nice little rocky place now. That's maybe where the mountain goat sleeps. There, over here, sort of follow these angles. Maybe this works its way right on over. Wherever you want it. Pick up a little touch of color right there. See? So you can bring that right on out. Now then, let's have some fun. I'm gonna go right into a little bit of yellow. A little yellow, reach up here, get a little touch of the sap green. Just bring them together. Maybe even a little yellow ochre in there. I like that. That's pretty. Pretty, pretty. Okay, now then, let's say maybe back here there's some little hills. Little grassy hills that climb right up the side of this mountain. See them? See them? They live right there. You knew that. There we are. But just follow the angles in your mountain. And you can create all kinds of beautiful little things. I'm going to add a little dark sienna here and there too. To that yellow ochre and cad yellow. Darken that color just a little bit so it shows up better. There we go. Look at it. Climb that mountain. Sometimes a little bit of dark color dropped in. Just sort of play back and forth between darks and lights. And look at the basic shapes in here. And here we said this was sort of working around like that. So that's the way this should work. A little bit climbing right up through there. Just bend those trees right around like that. Comes right on down. But you can create all kinds of beautiful effects. So easy. Over in here, follow these angles. Most important. Maybe a little bit of dark here and there. This is our shadow side of the mountain, so we want it to be a little darker overall. Just layer after layer, all kinds of things there. There. And all you need, a big 2-inch brush, and you're in business. See, that mountain already is sitting right out there in all those little green hills. Okay. Now then, we can take a clean brush. If you want to create even more mist, you can go right down here at the base with a clean brush and just tap it. Just tap the edges though. and that'll create even more mist. Always following the angles, and very lightly, just barely, barely, barely touching the canvas. You can blend all that together. Now maybe I'll just hang on that same old brush. We'll go into a little bit of this same dark color we made the mountain out of. What the heck, just as long as it's a good dark color. Maybe there's a little foothill that lives right there. See? You want this darker. As things get closer to you in the landscape, they should get darker and darker and darker. Darker and darker. There we go. Let this run right on off here somewhere. We don't know where it goes. But that puts another plane into the painting. Adds more dimension. Makes your painting look deeper. There. Now you can grab it and gently lift upward a little bit. It'll make it look like little distant trees that are far, far away. Far away. Ooh. There. Look at all them little rascals. Now while we have that color, let's take a little of that color and pull straight down underneath. We're going to have water. Then we need a little reflection back here. Need us a little reflection. There. Just pull it down. Straight down. Okay. Now, very lightly, come across. Soon. Got to make all those little noises too, or it doesn't work. There we are. See, and we have instant reflections. Now we can take our knife, a little bit of liquid white. Okay, pull it out very flat. Then we just sort of do like that. Get a little bit on the bottom of the knife this time. Sometimes we let it on the top, sometimes on the bottom, depending on the effect we're looking for. I want to push very firmly and bend the knife. I want to make like a little bit of land, sandbar or something is projecting out here. It's far away, so it's very hard to see detail. Very, very hard. Okay, clean off my old knife. Let's have some fun. Shoot. Let's mix up a big pile of color here. We're going to have black, Prussian blue, brown, crimson, little sap green, whatever you got, as long as it's good and dark. Might as well mix up a pretty good pile. We're gonna use a lot. Find a fan brush. There's one. Let's go right into that pile of dark color. Load it full of paint. A lot of paint. Maybe over here we have the indication of some little evergreens that live over here. There they are. And all I'm doing is tapping straight down. See? There you can see. Super. That's all we're doing. Just tapping downward. Downward, 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 downward. That's all. There it goes. And we'll let it get smaller, smaller as it goes out here. We'll have a little peninsula of land that lives right out here. There. There we go. We just fill all that in with some nice dark color. Boy, I think I've made a mess. I think I've made a mess here. There. Okay. Tell you what, maybe a couple of these trees, maybe they had a little more sunlight, a little more water, whatever. They got strong, big, and they stand out. Or maybe they're just old, bigger. There he is. There he is. Maybe that one right there. Just pick them out. See there? A happy little evergreen lives right there. And we can paint another one in the water upside down. Look at that. Sneaky, huh? Just drop another one in. Now then, find a big brush. Be sure it's dry. Decide where you want reflections. Because the canvas is wet, you can grab that paint and just move it. Look at that. Now then, very lightly, come across. And keep these brush strokes as straight as possible. They just won't look right if they're crooked. The water looks like it's going to run sort of yaha. That's a new word I made up. Now I'm going to take some yellow, 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 yellow. Reach up here, get some sap green. Some of that dark color here. I want a dark color. Load the brush full. Get a little yellow ochre in there, a little Indian yellow too. What the heck? A lot of color. Now then, back in here, I want to put the indication, just push up with the brush. Indication of some happy little grassy things that live back here in this peninsula. There, see them? There they come. There they come. Just push upward, and it makes all those little grassy things just happen. Looks like a lot of little bushes and things that are far away. Far, far away. Now, take our knife, a little bit of Van Dyke brown. We'll pull that paint out very flat, and once again, cut across to get our little roll of paint right out on the edge of the knife. We can come in here and put us on some land areas. There. Take a little bit of our brown and white. This is what was left over from the mountain. What the heck, we just use it. And put a few highlights here and there. There. A little touch of our liquid white. Put us a little water line into here. That cleans up the bottom, acts to separate. There. Just sort of makes it a little more pleasant. There we go. Maybe a little ripple in the water. Whatever, whatever. We don't want this side over here left out. So let's put some trees there. Back with the fan brush, a lot of color in the brush. A lot of color. Maybe there's a big tree who lives, boom, right there. Now, just the corner of the brush. You can see this one good. Just the corner of the brush. Work it back and forth. Think about a tree. Think about a tree, just like so. Sort of think about what it is you're trying to do. Try to imagine that you're a tree. How would you want to look out here? I remember when I was a kid, I wanted to catch a rabbit one time. My uncle told me the way to catch a rabbit was hide behind the hen house, make a noise like a carrot when he came around, grab him. I haven't quite figured that out yet. Okay, there's another one. Like so. There. Okay. See there? I just have another tree there. Just makes funny little noises with the fan brush. It goes pitty-pat, pitty-pat. Maybe have another one here. In your world, you decide how many or how few trees you want. And drop them in. Drop them in. I like leaving areas like this open. See? You can see back behind that tree now. I would treasure that little spot. Don't lose him. Don't lose him. Let's give him a baby tree right here. A little tiny tree. He'll grow up one day, though. He'll grow up. And I'll put one more right there just to fill up this spot. There he goes. Now then, just put a lot of color right in there. Let's put some trunks in our trees. We'll use white and dark sienna. Pull it out flat, cut across our little roll of paint again. And just here and there, we'll just touch, give it a little pull as it gets bigger. There, see? Just the indication. We're not looking for a lot of detail. You wouldn't see the entire trunk because there's going to be leaves on the front. Here and there. There we go. Go over here. We'll even put the indication of a little dude right there. Now back to our little fan brush that has the green on it. I want this to be very dark, a lot of color. Okay. Now then, let's go in here and we'll just put some nice green highlights on these trees. Just wherever. Wherever you want them. There they are. I like to keep these dark though because I love the contrast that evergreens give your paintings. All right, but that's a personal choice. I think all of painting is a personal choice. There we go. You know, as this series draws to a close, I'd like to thank you. You're very special friends, and it's wonderful that you allow me to come into your homes and paint with you and to sit with you. We talk together. We know each other. It's very, very special. Very special. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Let's go right in here. We'll just drop in. We'll do it this way today. What the heck? We'll come right on out here. We'll just fill this in. You could do this with a paint roller. Just put in some color. Take my large brush, tap in a little green. Look at that. See there? That easy. We'll just put some nice little soft grassy areas down at the bottom of this tree. There. But that easy. You can create a very nice painting. And the old clock on the wall tells me it's about time to go for today. And once again, I want to thank you very much for allowing me to share my world with you. I look forward to the next series, which is already under production. And until then, keep painting. And from all of us here, happy painting, and God bless, my friend.
Production of this program is made possible by a grant from the Martin F. Weber Company, manufacturers of fine artist materials, and by Lincoln, manufacturers of select artist brushes.
Hi, welcome back.
Hello.